Luca Victorina, and I'm a student at law faculty. Actually, I have a question now that persists in my mind every time, and it is what would you advise for the student that has a dream to become ambassador, and what steps can he follow, to realize his dream?
Okay, I have to admit that when I first went to university, I thought I wanted to be a doctor. But I took organic chemistry. In the States, you do 4 years of undergraduate university, and then you do 4 years of med school. I took organic chemistry and got a D-. So I don't know if you know what a D- is, but it's sort of like a 3.5. Not very good. So I had to do something else. So then I ended up thinking maybe I'd become a diplomat. I spoke to the rector of medical university, and I said that to the people. And he said he wanted to be a pilot, and he couldn't see well enough, so he became a doctor. So my point is you have to think what suits you. If you want to be a diplomat, first, I think learning English was useful. My French colleague isn't here, but I would say learn another language or two. This modern day Chinese is getting more and more important. So learn something like that, and then learn about the world. And when I get asked by Peace Corps volunteers here or other people, what should I do to study to become a diplomat? I say, read The Economist every week. I don't mean to advertise for some private company, but in the English language anyway, they have the best coverage of things in the world. And I know for many of you, if it's not on the internet, you don't read it. But the learning about the whole world, because we live in an interdependent world, and we don't know if the next issue is going to be Chad, or Kosovo, or Colombia, or East Timor, or wherever. And it's useful for us if we know the whole world, if we want to be informed as a diplomat. So I would suggest broaden, get as much an understanding of what's going on in the world as possible. Then I would say take a drama course. And let me say why. Because if you take my place, where you become a Moldova ambassador at some point, you should be able to stand in front of a group like this and be comfortable. And drama, at a young age, makes you do it. I'm sorry, I don't mean to sound like Dad, but yes. I mean, you want to be able to communicate with people as a diplomat. And being comfortable, whether I pass or not, you guys can decide later, but I think you want to be able to do that, to be comfortable expressing yourself. So I've talked about learning a fair amount so that you have something to express, and then turning around and learning how to express it. So that would be my advice. Now, in terms of our political system on how you become ambassador, you can be like me and have 27 years as a diplomat, and you work your way up from third secretary, second secretary, to first secretary, consular, minister, consular, and you get the ambassador. We also have people in the United States who go straight from private business to ambassador. The ambassador in Romania, Nick Talbot, his path was rather different. There's a company in the United States called Advanced Auto Parts, and he owned the company, and it had 1,024 stores when he sold for a couple of $1 billion. And he was very prominent in the Republican Party circles in helping them out. And so after he retired and had some time on his hands, and they offered him that job. He had background to Romania because I think his family was originally from them, and he from there or that area, and he had been very helpful in the Ceausescu period where Jews were allowed to go to Israel, but only a certain money came into Romania. Some of that money was his, I believe. So there are different paths in different countries, but what you really have to do is know as much about your country as you can because you represent it, and then you should know as much about other countries as you can. That would be my advice. The Ministry of Foreign Affairs and European Integration may have some additional suggestions.